Okay, well now I saw some of you might have had some problems with the packet tracer for troubleshooting the wireless LAN issues, and it's one of the reasons why I gave you guys the opportunity to work on this. I opened this up almost a full week ahead of time, so give you guys an opportunity to go ahead and get some of these things done and work with some items that perhaps you haven't seen before. Um, so I wanted to some of you had some questions. You were curious on how to complete the lab, or you didn't do a great job doing the lab, and I get it. But I want to go in and give you some feedback and show you how the lab actually gets done. So turns out we're sitting in here and it tells you, you're going to mess with this piece here. You're not going to do anything in here, and you're going to work a little bit in here. Now, granted, the wireless LAN controllers are different, something we haven't worked on in our sessions. You'll have those in the wireless 260 class, but I wanted to give you a look, an idea of what's actually out there and how we do things in the actual enterprise environment, and see how you can work through logically and how to do some of these items. So the first step in this was to go through and find out, okay, what's wrong with this network. Obviously, laptop 1, laptop 2 have some issues. The home admin here isn't connecting. That's a problem. If you went through and did some checks on here, you would have seen that the tablet was also having some issues, not being able to get out. Couldn't get to the web servers. So when you're doing your testing, you saw some issues going on here. Also, the connection between the wireless home router and getting out to here was incorrect. This needs to be set to a DHCP. It's set to static. If you just look at your table that we were given, okay, the wireless home router is supposed to be DHCP with a 192.168.0.1. Okay, we're not really messing with R1. Okay, we're going to mess with the wireless controller. Okay, we access that on 192.168.200.254. We don't really need to mess with the radius server. The admin PC is what we use to talk to the wireless controller 1. You need to make sure that everybody is using 10.100.100.254. Okay. This needs to be set up. The home admin needs to be set up on DHCP. Okay, laptop 1 and 2 have to be set up to their respective VLANs. Okay, and then you've got your wireless VLANs 10s and 20s that need to be on the wireless controllers. Okay, so your job: troubleshoot LAN connectivity on the home network on the home issues. Troubleshoot wireless LAN connectivity issues in the enterprise network. Okay, now that we've learned how to configure wireless in-home enterprise networks, you need to learn how to troubleshoot in both wireless environments. Your goal is to enable connectivity between the hosts on the networks to the web server by both IP address and URL. Connectivity between the home and enterprise networks is not required. To access the home wireless router, the username and password is admin. And the wireless management console, it's admin and Cisco 123. So let's go ahead and get started here. So as we go through with our connectivity issues, we want to make sure that everybody can get to www.netacad.pt. So if we jump back, okay, we go here, we'll say, all right, let's go to a web browser. And can we get to host name not resolved? What that tells you, we have a DNS issue here, right? So he didn't probably get the correct DNS address from the wireless host, okay, if he set the DHCP. Well, first thing, put the tablet on DHCP, okay? Now the DNS server is 10.100.100.250. What is the DNS server supposed to be on this lab? Well, if we go back to here, you'll see DNS is supposed to be 254, and we just read it as 250. So we know that we're not receiving the appropriate DNS from here, okay? Also, the wireless home router needs to be set to DHCP. We'll have to climb in and check on that then, okay? You'll also see that the home admin is not up at all, okay? So we can do this one a couple of different ways, okay? You can, okay, put this guy on wireless. If you scroll down to the bottom here, you see he's got an Ethernet connection. Okay? One way to do it would be to manually plug this guy in here and then plug him in to Ethernet 1. Fast forward time a little bit. Check his IP addressing. Okay? And you'll see that he is now on the home network with a .5, but his DNS is also incorrect. You could also have put him in, given him a wireless card and have him talk that way. So on the home network, we already see that our DNS connections are incorrect. So what we're going to need to do now is from the home admin PC, open up our web browser, go to the default gateway of 192.168.0.1. Okay. Enter the password for that, and it's supposed to be admin and admin. And you'll notice, okay, we're supposed to be set not to static, okay, because we want to be talking over here. We want to set that to DHCP. Second, we want to make sure that our DNS servers, just make that bigger all around, okay, is set to 254, which is a DNS server that is in the enterprise domain. Come down to the bottom, save those settings. Everybody will disconnect for a brief moment here and then come back online, and you'll see that when they do come back online, let's fast forward time, okay? You'll see that when they do come back online, we should be able to now get alright, so it looks like now I've got my IP address back up. So let's see if we can get to www.netacad.pt now. Host name is unresolved. So let's see what our IP address is here. .254, there we go. Okay, and we took a little while there, but we got through. WLC activity website, we saw we got through. So now we have tablet PC as connectivity. The wireless router made it through, talked to the DNS server, and then was able to get to the web server down here. So we know that the home network seems to be working. Now we want to move over here, and we notice that the enterprise side is not working. Okay, laptop 2 is supposed to be on wireless VLAN 20 with an SSID of 20. Laptop 1 is on VLAN 10 using WPA PSK. Right? So what we want to set up is to make sure that our wireless controller is actually configured correctly. So we look at the laptop and we'll say, okay, Mr. Laptop, okay, how are you trying to connect? You'll say, well, right now it says that the adapter is not connected properly. It's not active. So we go to the Connect tab, we look over here, okay, it's set to go to SSID 10, right, using WPA2, okay, in a mixed mode, okay, you can do BG or N. If we look at the profiles, it's set to go to 10, it's set to use WPA2 personal, okay, which would be using PSK. So in that one, so that's set up, we're supposing that's set up correctly the way it's supposed to be. Now we want to look at our WLC. When we go to WLC, we don't have a configuration tab for here. So how do we program that? Well, it's going to use a web interface, the same as we do over here. So you go to your admin PC, and what I think a lot of you might be doing is when you get into this configuration, you go to your web browser, and you just automatically type in the 192.168. This should be a 200.254, and you're going to get a host. The server was reset. Error message, okay, or request timeout in this case here. That'll go through next here. Server reset connection. So everyone's like, okay, what am I doing wrong? I can't go in here and figure something out. Okay. Well, we've got to remember this is an enterprise network, so it's going to be a secure connection. So all I have to do is add the S to the HTTP, and I'll get to my wireless LAN controller. Now, if we were to take a look, we saw that it was, I believe it was admin and Cisco 123. Now we're in here. Just go real simple. Go to our wireless LANs. Laptop 2 is supposed to be connected to VLAN 20. Laptop 1 is supposed to be connected to VLAN 10. We're just going to click the little hyperlink right there on wireless on VLAN 1, and we can see, okay, it's wireless 10, SSID is 10, security, okay, using WPA and WPA2. Policy, correct, okay, correct. This is what's wrong. The authentication key method, okay, for WPA2 is supposed to be PSK, not 802.1x. Switch that over, make sure that this matches the VLAN password for SSID 10, which is Cisco 123 with a capital C. Scroll back up to the top and choose Apply. Next, we know that the laptop 2 is supposed to be connected to SSID 20. If we scroll over to the right here, you'll see that it's disabled. Come back over here to the left. Select the hyperlink for that one there. And all we got to do is turn that bad boy on. Go ahead and apply that. Go ahead and close out of that. Close out of that. You'll notice now we've got laptop 1 is on. Let's see if we can get laptop 2 to configure here. And we want laptop 2 to use 20. We choose connect. It's going to bark at us. Okay, we go over to our profiles tab. And we're going to, because right now you'll see it's using PA2 Enterprise, which is correct. We choose connect. Doesn't jump on. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to edit that. Go to our advanced setup, SSID 20. Next. We're going to use a, okay. Now the security here, as you can see, was disabled. So it's going to make that enterprise. Next, the login name for that is supposed to be user2 and then pass. The passphrase, I'm sorry, it should have just been user2. This is an incorrect username in the profile, so I'll just double check that out. Username should be user2. Ah, I have it as user20. There we go. User2, next, save. Here we go. I don't know why it did take the first couple times, but it did there. Now that is connected, that is connected. And you'll see down here at the bottom, we have 100% completion. Hope that cleared up any confusion any of you may have had. And hope you had a fairly decent semester, even though we had the big break in the middle of the semester.